Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about Companion. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Okay. Let's look at our cast here. First, we got Jack Quaid, son of Dennis Quaid. You definitely recognize him as his role as Huey in The Boys on Amazon. But besides that, he's been in some movies. He debuted in the first Hunger Games movie, which is weird looking back on because I've been watching like old Hunger Games clips and just seeing him, knowing where he would be 10 plus years later, it's kind of wild. Yeah, besides the Hunger Games, he was in Scream 5. I'm not going to call it just Scream, it's Scream 5. He was in that. He was one of the many faces in Oppenheimer. He's going to be in another movie like next month, Novocaine. That's very much going to be like a test on how bankable he really is. But yeah, dude is very much recognizable, mainly because of The Boys. So that's him. Then we got Sophie Thatcher, who hasn't been in too many movies. She was in like The Boogeyman and Heretic, but she's mainly known for like TV. I think for the show Yellow Jackets, I believe. Yeah, Yellow Jackets. And she has officially been labeled a Scream Queen, which is a label actresses get if they are associated with the horror genre. So, yeah. So we got two relatively recognizable faces in this cast. So I'm gonna label that as a pro. Another pro is a big pro. Is the reviews for this movie are spectacular. And keep in mind, this is a January movie. So to see a movie have a 93% critic score, that is not normal. But that's not the first time we've seen a movie score so high, in January. I mean, a few weeks ago we had One of Them Days have a similarly high score. Yeah, 93% critic score, 91% audience score. Cinema score is a B plus, which is well above average for a movie like this. I mean, I'm curious. What did Barbarian? Barbarian got a C plus, and keep in mind, Barbarian has been used in the advertising for this thing. So the fact that this movie cinema score is a whole grade higher than Barbarian is a great sign. So yeah, word of mouth is great across the board. So I will absolutely label that as a pro. Another pro is that there's not a whole lot of there's really no direct competition out there, no serious direct competition. I mean, Wolfman, that died. That died a death. Presence just failed to make an impact. Flight Risk was not even the same genre, but then that movie has a lot of negative, is fueled by negative word of mouth, and everything else is just kind of old or dead. And there's Dogman, but that's a completely different genre, so it's not going to affect this movie one bit. So yeah, as of right now, there's no direct competition out there, and it helps that this movie is so unique because it's not really a movie that's a part of just one genre. It's like a mismatch of genres. Like one could label this like a horror movie, a sci-fi movie, a thriller, even low key a comedy. Like it's a bunch of different things at once, and so that helps it stick out. Compared to like other movies that are out there. So yeah, lack of direct competition as of right now, I will label that as a pro. Another pro is Thursday previews. For a movie that is not probably like a big brand or anything, these preview numbers aren't terrible. 1.1 million. In fact, it's actually 1.7 from what I remember because it had like some Monday screenings. But this is just Thursday, 1.1. For comparison's sake, going back to Barbarian, as I mentioned before, because both movies have like basically the same creative team. So Barbarian, which came out in 2022, a movie I finally watched on Christmas Eve of last year. Finally watched it. It was an interesting flick, but yeah, Barbarian. That had a Thursday preview of 850K and it opened for over 10 million. And this movie also benefited from solid word of mouth. So yeah, preview wise, it's not bad, for what it is. So I will label that as a pro. And there's also the fact that I might as well mention that the trailer for this movie, the teaser trailer that came out, was so good because like it was one of those teaser trailers where it tells you nothing. You have no idea what's going on, but it shows you enough to where it was able to it could, pique your interest. And that's what happened with me. I saw the trailer and I was like, this movie looks really cool, really interesting. And it made me want to watch it. And I imagine that was the same for a decent amount of people. So, say good teaser trailer, really strong teaser trailer. I'll label that as a pro too because it was just well edited and everything. Okay, cons. Okay, going back to that teaser trailer, teaser trailer itself, fantastic. The problem is that Warner Brothers attached that to Joker 2. And I guess like in their heads, before Joker 2 came out, they were thinking, okay, Joker 2, it's gonna make so much money. It's gonna be such a big money hit. And because we're attaching the companion trailer to it, it's gonna get a ton of exposure. I guess that was the thought process going on. Kind of like how the first Smile trailer debuted in front of Top Gun Maverick. So same logic. Well, Joker 2 was seen by, I'm not going to say no one, but very few people. Me being a part of the very few. And as a result, the trailer didn't get as much traction as they probably wanted it to. And then marketing was like real quiet for a long time. And then like the last few weeks, it like ramped the fuck up. But yeah, just I guess a lack of like, because I don't know, widespread hype, I guess, or kind of like a botched, marketing launch, I guess. Considering what they wanted to do and what ended up happening, yeah. Ugh. So I guess I'll label that, the fact that it had a bit of a botched launch, not because of the movie, but because of what the trailer was attached to. Label that as a con. Another con is that there's going to be direct competition next week. That movie being Heart Eyes, which shockingly, that movie's also getting really good reviews, which I would have never guessed, judging by the way that movie looked, but it is. And that could be a problem for a companion. But it does have Valentine's Day the week after. And because of the themes surrounding companion, that could really help it out. So yeah, Hard Eyes coming out next week. Not to mention Super Bowl weekend next week. That's basically a 2-day weekend because Sunday is gonna just be brutal for every movie. So that's gonna be a problem too. So yeah, Hard Eyes and Super Bowl. I'm gonna label both of those as a con for this movie. And I think that's really it. Can't think of anything else. So opening weekend, early numbers say this will open with 10 million. I think it will too. I'm hoping it does a little better than that. I'm not expecting it to do crazy. But I'm hoping for it to make at least like 11 to 12 million, but I'll probably be on the same level as Barbarian, which considering this movie only costs like 10 million, like that's not a bad result. And its legs, mm, I don't know if we'll have the same legs as Barbarian, but I could see this making between 30 to 40 million domestically. I can see that. So I'm going to go with 30 to 40 million total. And that's it. So that was Companion. We got two more movies to talk about this weekend. We got Dogman and we got Valiant 1, and then we're done with January. Yay. So, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, share the whole drill. You want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage, all previous prediction videos I made this year, the past few years. You want to watch any of them, go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results, box office results for any particular month. I finally did my 2024 recap videos. Those videos were fucking brutal to make. Like literally, both of them lasted like 2 hours. Like part two literally was 2 hours. Ugh, I'm glad I could take a long break from making a video like that. But my January recap, that'll be 2-ish weeks from now, before Valentine's Day. That's what I'm planning on making it. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos of me on the channel, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I went over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Never talked about Companion once. So there's that. But if you want to watch all 250 episodes, you want to binge watch them all, go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.